Jesus said, "Do you really want to follow me?" Maybe this is the question that God has for you today. Welcome on my channel, Heavenly Life. In Matthew 8, we can read that there was this teacher of the law, and he told Jesus that he would follow him everywhere he goes. But then Jesus replied, "Foxes have their dens, and the birds have their nests, but the Son of Man has no place where he can lay down his head." Jesus said that he has no place where he can rest, where he can take refuge. He has no place. Are you still willing to follow me? Because you will also have no place when you follow me right now. This is what Jesus asked him. Are you sure? Or maybe is that which you imagined different from what it really means to follow me? Like, are you really willing to sacrifice maybe time of your life? Are you really willing to sacrifice comfort to follow me? Are you really willing to do that? Are you maybe really willing to sacrifice how other people look at you? Because you are a teacher of the law, right? And now you have no home. How will people view you? How will people look at you? Maybe completely different. Not the way that you may wish to be seen by other people. And maybe this was the question that this teacher had. Like, I'm a teacher of the law. How can I explain to people that I follow Jesus but I have no home? How can I explain this? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe you just have to make the decision to follow Jesus. And of course, this is just an example. Like, but Jesus really said this because he meant it. In this time, Jesus was without a home, and everyone who followed him was without a home, of course. So there was also another man who replied something different when Jesus asked him to follow him. Like, "Come, follow me," Jesus told him. And he said, "Yeah, you know what? I want to, but my father died and I have to bury him first. Then I can come and follow you." And Jesus replied, "Let the dead bury their own." Doesn't sound so friendly, right? Whoa, doesn't sound that patient. But this is sometimes what Jesus wants from us. He wants us to follow him and to just be ready to leave things behind, to just be ready to maybe losing the good reputation before people. Because I believe some people wanted to have a good reputation. I believe this teacher of the law wanted to have a good reputation. Maybe this guy who wanted to bury his father wanted to have a good reputation. So that's why he wanted to do it. Not maybe because it was his father, but because it's a social standard in this time, I believe, to bury the dead persons of your family and to take care of them. I believe you were not viewed in a good way by other people if they would know that you didn't bury your own father. Like you left your own dead father. This is serious. I mean, think about it. There are also today so many social standards that we try to live up to, maybe even subconsciously. But the question is, what is Jesus demanding from us? What is his will for us? I don't say that everybody has to live on the street. Like, I'm speaking of the time where Jesus had no home. I'm speaking about the time before his resurrection. About that time I'm speaking. I'm not saying that this is not something that Jesus could say to somebody today. But I don't believe that this is the standard for Christians to be without home. No, I don't believe that. But God knows everything. And sometimes he has ways to lead his people that don't make sense. And I believe also to the teacher and to the other guy that wanted to follow Jesus, it didn't make sense. Like, why can't you just wait for me to bury my father? Maybe Jesus just wanted to see if he's more important to you than your father. Maybe Jesus just wanted to see if even when you are a teacher of the law, you would give up your good reputation just to follow him. Jesus was somebody who knew his worth. God is the best and most precious gift that somebody can ever have in their life. Like, to have Jesus is everything. And maybe this is what Jesus was trying to find. He tried to find people who were worth of the calling, who were ready to follow him, even into the uncomfortable situations and periods and seasons of life. Jesus has his own ways that we men don't really understand. We don't. Like, I believe the most time we don't really fully understand what God is doing behind the scenes. We don't know what God is doing in the background. But are we willing to trust him when we don't understand? Are we willing to trust him when it doesn't make sense? You know, even Jesus was so willing to fulfill his calling. I mean, he was so willing to do what he was sent for to earth. This is what I mean. To fulfill the will of the Father. That you can read, there was, I think in Mark 3, verse 20, you can read that there was a situation where Jesus and his followers, they got to a home, but there was a multitude of people following them, and they took care of the people instead of eating. And the family of Jesus wanted to get Jesus out of there, even to use violence to get him out. The family, you can read it, said something like, Jesus is crazy now. Like, he's out of his mind. You know, sometimes when you follow God, You seem to be out of your mind for other people. You seem to be crazy. And maybe people try to stop you. They try to convince you to go a different way. Maybe the family didn't understand the will of God. Maybe they didn't have to. Maybe they just wanted to save Jesus, you know? They thought he's not even taking care of himself anymore. Like, we have to rescue him, even when he doesn't want to. Even maybe when people try to hold him back, maybe his followers, we will use violence. This was the idea of the own family of Jesus. He is out of his mind. He can't just live and help other people, but doesn't help himself. No, this is not the right way. He has to eat, he has to live. He has to. So we make him live. We force him to live the way that we expect him to. So maybe that he is like us, you know. We make him to one of us. We make him fit our picture. This is what I try to find here. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We try to fit him into our picture of how his life should be, of how he should take care of himself, maybe take care of his own family. This is what we believe him to do. This is what we believe he should do, and we gonna make it happen. Think about this. This is serious stuff, man. His own family. And then you know, I believe you know, the most of you know, where Peter tried to stop Jesus. No, he said, no, you can't go to the cross. Like, this is not your way. Like, no, don't do that. And Jesus said, get behind me, Satan. Get behind me, Satan. Maybe he really meant Satan, or maybe he meant that Peter was resisting the will of God. You know, Satan is also referring or defined as resistance. And yeah, we know Satan always tries to resist the good things that we want to do, the good things that God has in store for us, to really live them out here, to really get into our calling. There will be people like Peter who maybe have good motives, who maybe want to save you, but maybe they want to save you from the way that God has for you. Maybe they want to rescue you so that you cannot die and be resurrected by Jesus Christ again. And I don't say that, you know, you have to go to the cross. This is not what I mean. I don't mean that you have to die like Jesus did. I just mean sometimes it's a death that is inside of us because we are willing to give up certain things, because we are leaving the old life behind. Something in us dies so that we can really be resurrected and be completely changed into the picture that God has for us, not into the picture that man has for us. So I hope this really encouraged you to follow Jesus, because he's really worth it. And like he resurrected Lazarus, he will also resurrect those who follow him, even into the darkness, even into the situation where it seems hopeless. Because it seems like there is no light, only darkness. But we know how often darkness surrounded David, and God always helped him out. So God will help you out wherever you will follow Him. God will be there for you. God will be with you. When He calls you and you follow Him like His followers did, you will see that He has prepared everything that you need. God bless you.